Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gad, your host. User on the right, no, excuse me, user on the left has requested this Twin Flames Natal Chart analysis. Already you can see the money and Virgo. Money and Virgo. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get right into it. This person has requested other readings as well in the past, so they know how it goes. And I'm double checking everything before we get started. The male is on the right. The female who requested it is on the left. All right. So as you know, I'm still going by the full moon video. I just did one today. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the most recent chart. Because it's 9 o'clock exactly. See, we talking about Virgo. Now the Hermit card is number 9. The Hermit card is number 9. So it's a Virgo energy in the house already. And even this morning, I actually looked at the clock, 9:21 a.m. But as I looked at it, it blinked. It literally blinked, which it doesn't do. My clock don't blink. It's a microwave. It don't blink, not like that. But it blinked, and then it went right into 9:22. And 9:22 is my older sister's birthday that's no longer alive. And a lot of times her date of death pops up as well, 2/25. And that's also my younger sister's birthday. So yeah, that's my older sister died on my younger sister's birthday as well. So we see these things in the house. And I got a lot of Virgos in my family. So right now we got a Virgo presence. So let's get over here. So I was trying to do this now because, like I said, I got other orders, but I just got done. So I wanted to put this one in there. Because if I had waited, it would have took longer for this to get back to the person. And I didn't want to do that. All right. So now I'm looking at the most recent chart as well. And what I may do is include it in the back of the video. So at least you'll have it. But I'm looking at. And when people know how to maneuver stuff like a lot of people be out here tripping, but basically if you're on the internet, you got browsers, depending on what you're using, but you can open different browsers up at the same time and stuff. But it just depends on what you're using to hear this. So the chart I'm looking at, give me a moment, but it will be in the back of the video. So if people want to see, all they got to do is fast forward to the back, open up a second browser, and you can look at it too. See, it's all about Virgo. See what I'm saying? That's why I think Spirit, because Spirit basically told me to pull up the most recent, and right now, give me a second. I just got to size it up and everything, and then what? So right now the ascendant is in Virgo, and even see it's 24 degrees with the EP, and 24 means the return. So like I said, this is how you be doing when you're dealing with soulmates or more already. Because it's a high Virgo presence. You see Jupiter shine in his favor. Because I'll tell you right now, Jupiter is a twin flame planet. Like if you're doing good with your twin, Jupiter might bless you with some money. And sometimes if you're not doing good, Jupiter will still come in trying to keep the peace. Because I had a great experience with Jupiter as far as when I was going through my twin flame situation. So you and this gentleman have a Virgo and possibly a Virgo Jupiter connection. And now that we can look at the charts, we'll figure out a little bit more of what's going on. A little bit. I know it's more y'all can hear me, but I keep my eye on the meter because all kind of crazy stuff be happening. All right, in a little bit of time where I hit that pause, all kind of hell broke loose. But I thank God for this person who requested this, and then somebody else, some shit just popped off. That shit was crazy, but God was right there to help me. So that was good. That was good because I'm always helping. All right, so let's get it. That we talking about Virgo. Now you might not. It's funny because the person I'm talking about, that's the video you might want to check out. That's on the channel right now on the Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. Because I talk a lot about the same thing I was telling you about that metal, Our Lady of the Miraculous Metal. Now you might not believe that, but I don't know if you do or not. But it's definitely working for me, and I'm just proving just what if you just knew what just happened and how as fast as that stuff went down, as fast as it got worked out. And I was doing her video when I was talking about all that stuff. I wasn't even deeper with it. So the video is public. You might want to check that out. Because, like, people got to learn how to tap in. Because what I'm trying to tell people is this. It's all good. It's all good if you do find love. It's all good if you got people in your life that are there for you. But nothing's going to be more faithful to you, and nothing's going to be more powerful to you than God. Like, if you would ask me when I pressed pause that I think all that shit was going to happen, and I would have said nah. But it went off. It went off. But as fast as it went down, it got worked out like beautifully. So that's why I said I just try to teach people the ultimate. That's all. I understand all that other stuff, but sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. You know, because anything created is going to let you down at some point. Because if something created didn't let you down, you wouldn't be looking for a creator. You'd be looking at the creation. He's not going to let that happen. That's when when he tells you I'm a jealous God, that's exactly what he means. He's not going to let that. He's not going to let it go down successfully. That's why in any situation you'll have high points and you'll have low points. And 1 minute the person you always want to be with, all of a sudden you don't want to be with them at all. So that's life. So let me get the name of that video, but it's the most recent one on my channel, Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. This one said twin flames, miracles do happen. It's crazy. But that's how I know they just messing with me, because they're talking about 2 hours ago. Now, maybe it was only 2 hours ago. It seemed much longer than that. I don't know. But I know they mess with my numbers and everything. Like anybody, I won't say anybody, but if you out here saying positive stuff, you'll see it. Alright, so let's get back into it. Also did twin flame separation while you're in separation. Now, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why I even said, well, I'm not in separation. I just met somebody, whatever. Then you may avoid separation by listening to the video. You know what I'm saying? Because people just tend to wait till they're in a fucked up situation and go looking for help. You want to try to don't get in a situation in the first place. So I got a female client, and she's like that, but she sent me an email because she's a typical Libra, and she just want to be in a relationship so bad that she'll put the work in a little bit, but the moment the person comes, she just dive in and she gives that person her all, everything, and he just plays her out repeatedly, and then she breaks her heart, and then she's crying and she's all upset, and I tell her, you can't, you're giving too much, you got to slow down. Because he's not, like I said, he's not gonna buy the cow if you give him the milk. And when You understand, like when you're dealing with a man and he's real immature, but I would say anybody really, you got to be careful because, like I said, sex is very powerful, and sometimes it go to a person's head, like the other head, both heads really, but their head that you on your shoulder, and then they think that they macho, or they think they Mr. Sexy, or they think like you need it, like you know, they think they the big D daddy and all that, and so then they looking at you differently. So you think you loving this guy, and you think it's gonna make the relationship work, but actually you're actually pushing him away because you're giving him too much. Now he's getting, you know, arrogant. So it's the way you gotta think. So that's why I dropped that video, twin flame separation, why you're in separation, and then the one about miracles do happen. Because even like I said, what I just happened, I could say, because I got my miraculous metal on right now. Let me see if y'all can hear it. Y'all hear that? So y'all got to get past that silly stuff. That's what I be trying to tell you. Y'all need to deal with experts such as myself and stop the silly stuff. Because you'll go, oh, that's Catholic. Oh, that's Protestant. Oh, I'm Islamic. Oh, I believe this. But you're in the matrix. That's what it really is. And it's the only real thing is spirit. And when you get spirit, you go back into infinity. Time is a deception. Time ain't real. Only in the matrix. So you're here, but you're even like if you were a Bible reader, it tells you that even though you're in the world, don't love the world. That's like I think 2 John, 1 John chapter 2, 15 and 17, something like that. Don't love the things in the world. So you are here, but you're really supposed to be looking up. And when you stop looking up, then what spirit has to do to get you back on track is to start to mess shit up. So stuff you had that was going good for a minute, it'll start to have problems. Because if you don't get it, then you're going to be looking in the wrong direction. All right. So again, I'm telling you about your Virgo connection, so you're going to hear a lot of that on that video. Twin flame miracles do happen. That all, because anything Virgo will be like, you can either say Isis, or you can say, when I say Isis, I'm talking about Isis of Egypt, or you can say the Blessed Mother Mary. All right, give me one moment. I'm not even going to turn off the just give me a moment. And when you understand those powers, then you tap back into your power. And like some people that use the tarot cards, there are tarot cards with people of color faces. You know, if they work for you, use them. Like whatever works. That's how I say. If it's positive and it works, go for it. Because I know for a fact, when I say supernatural, I'm talking primarily about God. But the bottom line is, I know my life is just supernatural. Because I know without the supernatural, I would have been out of here a long time ago. I just had a friend of mine just died recently. But to be honest with you, he actually sold me out in 1980. So he wasn't really a friend. He and I haven't really been friends since like 85 or something. But he sold me out, and I went to see him in 2011 to try to squash it. You know, and I saw him off and on since then. But unfortunately, he did die. And you know, I had some people calling me, you know, telling me he had died and stuff like that. And I was kind of like laughing, like, why are you? I haven't seen that guy since like 85. What are you talking about? But back then we were like best friends. But I said he got a little crazy. He sold me out. I was actually trying to help him, and he thought he was going to get the situation better than me, and he sold me out. And that's exactly what happened. All right. So whenever somebody you came up with dies, you know that could have been you, because at one time we were inseparable. That's why they thought, you know, like other people just thought, oh, they thought I would be messed up or something. But like I haven't seen a guy, like only when I went to see him in 2011. That's the only time. So even people in the neighborhood were looking. They thought I was going to be in a certain frame of mind, which I wasn't. You know, because I hate to say it, but people die every day. And what I try to tell people is that's why you need to be worried about how you're living. It's not how you die, because once you die, you ain't coming back. You should be worried about how you're living, so that when you do die, you got nothing to worry about. Like you can die with confidence. You ain't got to be worried about where you're going and getting afraid and all that. Just give me a moment, please. One more thing to do. All right. And right now, again, her chart is the one on the left. His chart is the one on the right. And hers is going to kind of be like an update as well. Just give me a moment, please. As soon as I do this, we'll be able to get right into it. I'm one person doing a billion things as always. And it has to get done because of the simple fact. Plus, a lot of stuff happened. So I was all over the place. I was on like just all I was in email back and forth. I was online back and forth, trying to get everything straight. See, he said February early. This is a friend of mine. He said February early. It was no, because it was kind of funny because I was kind of thinking about him because all that shit was going on. I was thinking about him and shit, but I didn't talk to him. Like, said that's telepathy right there because he said February early. It's like somehow he knew. That's how it works though. It's just crazy. So I'm more into stuff like that because it works better. I'm not into like the physical shit too much because it just doesn't work. Motherfuckers will sell you out lie. Like I just told you, this guy was my best friend. I would have gave my life for him, and he stabbed me in the freaking back. You know, and never reached out and apologized. Never did shit. I'm the one who reached out to him, so I don't really put too much faith in it because I've seen it too many times. But God never fails. All right, let me see. I'm almost done. God will put you through stuff to make you strong though, but it never fail you. Even if you think he's failing, he's not. He's making you strong. All right. And I don't want it free. Yeah, I don't want to do it that way. Back up. All right, we're getting ready to pick it up. We're about to go in. I'll write this one thing down. It was kind of funny because when we were younger, and like in the 1980s, he used to always talk all this shit to me. Told me how I would be as an old man. He used to tell me all this crap. And then it was funny because I told him last time I seen him, I said, everything you said about me, you became. I said, you're the one that became bitter. I said, you're the one. I said, everything you said I would become, you're the one that became that. So like I said, you just hope, you pray and hope the best for people. You know, you just pray for them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go in. All right, here we go. So right away, your first house has those eights in it. Now, 8 is either going to be Leo energy, the strength card. But like I told you, on your natal charts, any number, especially if it's a degree, degrees come first. Like, is it your, like if I look at your AC, your ascendant, 8 degrees, 32 minutes. The first number is the degree, second number is the minute. So any degree from 0 to 21 is the major arcana of the tarot card. And that's why I said for people that are listening, you see this go on and on and on. For people to watch the videos and stuff like that, you see me do it over and over again. And like I always tell people to take notes, which they probably, most of them don't, some do. But you're not going to get this just listening. It's never going to happen that way. And if you're looking for a quick satisfaction, generally it doesn't work that way. What you do get is some quick sex and then you get dumped or played out, like a lot of females I know. And that's one thing I tell them. That's your biggest thing you're doing. Like, you got to understand two things. If you're giving him the milk, why would he buy the cow? Then it's hard for him to respect you. Then number two, when you objectify yourself, that's how he's going to view you. So a lot of stuff y'all do it to yourself. It's like you blame the man, but you actually do it to yourself. And I understand the feelings. Believe me, I understand it, but I still, like, it's just certain things you understand, but you just don't do. You know. And I guess that just comes with being older and growing up. I don't know. I don't know, but certain things you can understand, but you just don't do. Especially if it's not going to benefit you in the long run. So, you, like I said, your 8 degrees is either Leo energy, the strength card, number 8, or it's the Libra card, justice. And we'll determine that as we go around your chart. See, now the next card is 11. See, that's how you know I know what I'm talking about. It went from the 8th degree, then it got to Mars and went to 11. So in your first house, you're dealing with both strength and justice. And a lot of times when you see numbers going back to back, it's because you're dealing with a twin flame situation. Many of those times. And then you can even look at the 29. See that little diamond in your 12th house is Pallas. That's the soulmate asteroid, Pallas. And it's at 29 degrees. That's the anaretic or karmic degree. So all in your first house and your 12th house, you're dealing with love, past life. And that's why you saw that 24. 24. We're going to go around if we see it again. 24 means return. Means you're dealing with somebody you dealt with before. That's what number 24 means. So really quick, and we already know. I'll always tell you about secret love, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. And your 12th house. But whenever you got Scorpio in the 12th house, remember the 8th house and the 12th house are your most secretive, mysterious houses. So you got a little bit of both of them worlds going on. But also Scorpio in the 12th house can be infat. They can know things they shouldn't know. They can sense other people's feelings, thoughts, and emotions. They can have supernatural healing, and they have to watch their thinking because their thinking can become a reality. You really have to control your thinking, which I'm sure I told you about before. And you have incredible psychic gifts, and you may even have the gift of healing as well. And like I said, Venus in the 12th can definitely be with secret love, or mess around with somebody else's person, a man, or husband, or some type of secret love. Or it could be a love you get involved with that you keep a secret. You don't want you keep it a secret from whoever, mom or people you don't want to really know about. But you can already tell, like I said, this is past life stuff. Pluto and Scorpio are always death and rebirth, death and restabilization. And again, when you got Pluto and Scorpio in your 12th house, you got to be careful because these are the type of people that may try to cheat on taxes or cheat some type of way. The Bible talks about Ananias and Sapphira when they pledged to give a certain amount to the church, but when it came time to give it, they tried to lie and keep it and lied. See, that's some secrets, and then God wasn't too happy with that, so God sent Peter to basically take them both out. And a lot of people think that um that's not what happened, and they just happened to die. Now I heard somebody say this. Oh, Peter didn't kill both of them. They just happened to die. I said, oh, they just happened to die around the same time. First Peter corrects the wife. No, first Peter corrects the husband, and he dies right in front of Peter. And Peter told him, the Holy Spirit going to get you for what you did. He fell out, died, and then the wife. They asked her, they gave her a chance to fess up. She lied again, and he told her she is going to fall out, and then she fell out. So if you think they just hoping to happen to just fall out at the same around the same, that's some BS. So point being made is that's one thing the churches always say. If you pledge it, you better give it. Or you better try to come correct if you can or whatever. So again, this is Venus right there. So again, the Venus is going to be death and rebirth. But again, your Venus is 10 degrees. Now, what did I tell you? 10 degrees is the Wheel of Fortune card. That is Jupiter energy. So Jupiter will be helping happen. Jupiter will be blessing your love. But I've already told you that when I looked over there. And maybe that's what I thought was a 24. I don't know. Maybe I looked at that real quick and thought that was 24, but it's 14. So remember, Virgo represents your 6th house. That's also about service. And your 12th house is ruled by Pisces. That's also about service as well. So really, in the 12th house, you're supposed to be honest about all your secrets, or you try to find out what's going on inside of your subconscious minds. Even if you could find out through your dreams or past life situations, you want to find out because in the 12th house, you're supposed to deal with those things. That's supposed to be the house of reckoning. All your stuff behind the carpet, things hidden under the rug, things in the closet. Supposed to be bringing them out in the 12th house and dealing with them, getting healing. And also, it's supposed to be the house of service, where you're actually teaching other people how to be better at whatever they do. And in the 12th house, you have to be careful because people will burn you out. So you still have to know how to say no in the 12th house, even though it's a house of service. Like I tell people, the best service you can teach anybody is how to do it themselves. Because otherwise, they'll keep coming to you, and they're going to drain you. So how will love be in the 12th house? Well, because of Venus, your love is going to be hidden from somebody, or you might be messing with somebody who's lying to you because there's somebody else in the picture. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's just a certain way to go about all of this, because I think everybody's just looking for love, looking for love, looking for love. And you think love is going to solve all your problems, but not necessarily. Love may bring a lot of problems your way. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready to deal with those type of problems, yes or no? Because Venus in the 12th house will be secrets. So somebody somewhere are going to be having some type of secrets. And these type of secrets usually involve another person. Or like John might like Joe instead of Jane. Like it's going to be those type of secrets. So you have to be aware of that and ready emotionally, spiritually, and whatever else to deal with that. So like I said, the human nature is people just dive in. And I'm glad like she doesn't do that. There's a couple other people that will look into it, get natal charts and stuff like that. Don't just dive in. But it will be secrets. And also with your 8th house and your 12th house are almost the same, because Pluto and Scorpio rule your 8th house. So this is all about supernatural stuff. It's all about power struggles, stalking, obsession. You know, the person may secretly follow you, or you may secretly follow the person. People may use tarot cards to keep an eye on you or find out what's going on with you. All that's going on in his 12th house. Which is kind of funny because I jumped out of the first house and went into the 12th for some reason. But that's how spirit be moving though. So let's stay there because we're almost done now. So, but it is healing. You see the number 44? 10 degrees 44. So again, a love may bring Jupiter good fortune. And maybe bring healing. But again, just hope that it's not somebody else's love or secret love. Because I'm saying if it's really right, why has it got to be hidden or secret? What's the secret? Who are we hiding from? I mean, sometimes you have no choice but to keep things a secret, but that's what you really want to know. Who's telling the secrets, and what is the secret, and who's hiding what from who? Because I don't want to be, me personally, I don't want to be caught up with somebody who got somebody else. Kind of like when I was still out there dating, you would have females, you're trying to take them on a date or whatever, and they're talking about some guy that they'll never stop loving. I'm always going to be in love with so-and-so. But so-and-so has a girlfriend, the mom of his babies. They living together. So she's telling me she's never going to... And I had like a couple of females do that. I'm always going to be in love with so-and-so. So so-and-so has baby. He with his baby's mama. They live together and they got children. So you're telling somebody that's trying to take you out. And I was stupid enough to spend money on them. Stupid enough to try to take you out. That's how my mama told me my mama was wrong. Anybody when your mama tell you, said, Mama, you just mind your business. I'm going to do it my way. No, I'm just joking. In a serious way. But no. So she, instead of dealing with the person that's in front of you, trying to show you special and trying to do the right thing, you too busy talking about some other dude that got kids and he with his baby's mom. And so even if he come and hit you, he'll come back and get you sexually, but he's still going to go home with his girl. Always. You're always going to be like something like whatever they call females like that. Like I said, one of my clients just told me that. He told me that all he wanted sex. No, I had two of my different clients tell me that. He told me all he wanted sex. So I'm like, I hope you ain't still effing with him if he told you that. That's ridiculous. Because you have to deal with that. He's telling you to your face, all I want from you is sex. I'm not taking you out nowhere. I'm not spending no money. And he told her that to her face. But I bet you he going home to a female though. I bet he's spending some money on his who he claims his woman or something. So don't ever get yourself in a situation like that, because ain't nothing good coming out of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even blame the dude. Because if you that silly, it's something wrong. You got to have some type of self-esteem for yourself, some pride for yourself. And believe me, let that man show you something before you just play it out. Because once you start going down that route, and a lot of twin flames do that. A lot of twin flames dive in bed and then they get out of bed and go right back into separation. And then it really hurt. Because especially like I said, everything with the twin flame is so dynamic and amplified. And that's why you see Jupiter. That's why you see that 10 degrees with your Venus. It's amplified. That's what Jupiter does. It amplifies everything, expands everything. So you got a lot of obsession, secrets. Might be somebody having a secret love or some other crazy stuff like that. A lot of supernatural stuff. Like if this was, remember the 12th house can be churches too. So if this was a church or something like that, somebody you met in the church or something like that, a lot of times a lot of supernatural stuff going on. Like might be somebody walking around saying they're a prophet, or you might see somebody saying they got healed, or just all kind of stuff that you see in some of these churches. That's kind of like that type of house, the 12th house. And again, it's karmic because now your Pluto is 21. So this is how I know your whatever it's probably gonna be twin flame, but it could be soulmate. But it's definitely gonna be karmic. 21 degrees is the world card. That's Saturn energy. That's karmic. Now remember, Saturn and Pluto teach lessons. So in your 12th house, it'll be some type of lessons being taught. Say, well, so far you sound a certain way. Not really. I don't mean to. I'm just letting you know what's up. I think because I've been through so much in this video in this little bit of time. Because once I hit that pause, it's like all hell broke loose over here. So all that shit had to be solved, and had to be solved quick. That's what I'm saying again. Thank God that it did get solved. All right. So I'm just amped up one of that. But I'm kind of amped up about the charts as well. I just got a feeling off these charts. So all I'm doing is giving you the rundown, things like that. But you got to be honest, with it. You can't water it down. I can't go, oh, well, it's Venus, and they might love each other so much they just keep it a secret because it's just so good and they don't want other people to know. That's not what that means. I got to tell you what it means. So it's going to be a transforming connection. Secrets will be involved. Some type of death and rebirth. And also the world card is Saturn, meaning that it's karmic, but it could also mean ending. Because remember, your 12th house is the house of ending, and is the house of karma. And it's also the house where you're dealing with past life, but anything, any subconscious stuff and stuff like that. That is the 12th. And then it's anaretic. So now we got to look at that 29 degree karmic degree in Scorpio, but also because Neptune rules the 12th house. So we're going to do it both ways. Now, to help you with that's what I'll be saying. That's why I just make sure you're a spiritual person, because that's what you're supposed to be really be doing in the 12th house, is spiritual stuff. So make sure you're doing that. And also, it is the house, like I said, a service, but just don't let people use you to the ground. You gotta know how to serve and still be, still have your energy, and don't let people just use you. Okay, anaretic degree. So you have a lot of karma. And that's another reason why you got to be careful in your 12th house. See, if you do something dirty, it's gonna come back on you. Like your 12th house is very karmic. So whatever goes, that's why you got to watch your thinking and everything. And sometimes they warn about people there, because sometimes they can even go mentally crazy. With Scorpio in the 12th house, some people can go mentally crazy. So you got to be real careful with that. And you also got to be careful not to be addictive behavior or smoking. Anything, any type of drugs in there. Cause I don't want to say who it is yet, But and it's sad because she's highly talented. Like, in fact, in her field, she's one of the most talented people in her field in the world. But she was real young, and because she was so good, she got easy access to some of the most talented people in the world, richest people in the world, and that talent. So there's plenty of drugs, plenty of grown man behavior, grown woman behavior, even though she's barely breaking 21, 22. So she definitely got that habit. Because how do I know? Because I used to sit with the late great C Mac, and he used to be a drug supplier. And C Mac and me would sit at the restaurant, and C Mac would just show me all the fiends. And then this was like a white restaurant. We just in there because he had a lot of business. So we sitting there eating, and he just said, "Watch that person wipe their nose." They wipe their nose. Watch that person get up and go to the bathroom. They get up and go to the bathroom. Watch when he come out the bathroom, he gonna wipe his nose again. He wipe it. Everything C Mac said these people would do, they would do. And he said, you can't tell me. He said, I'm a supplier. He said, these are my fiends and stuff. So it was what he said. So I know when somebody with that behavior. And it's sad because she looks horrible too. And she was young, so she was very attractive. Now she even looked like a fiend. She still can play though. Like she's still probably one of the best in the world. But you could just tell. And I just hope it don't take her out, because usually that's what happens when people ain't careful. But you see them go down. You see those rock stars go down. They get back up, go down again, get back up. But it's still messing them up. All right, let's go. I just gotta. All right, it came very good. So we're gonna do 29 degrees. We're gonna do in Scorpio, but we're also gonna do. Well, let me see what we're gonna do. Yeah, Scorpio and in Neptune. Now, this is what they're saying. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree. But 29 degrees Scorpio suggests the end of a life cycle. Natives feel a financial responsibility left to them from someone who has passed is too much to deal with. Now you gotta remember, your eighth house is inheritances, debt, money owed to the government, stuff like that. So that could be a situation. This could indicate the end of a probate. It could also denote excessive tax burden or inheritance issues. Unfortunately, a death may be experienced at this degree placement. So only you would have an idea on that, what that might be talking about. And remember, some of this could have happened already in your present life, may still happen in your present life, may also have something to do with past life. So then you go 29 degrees Neptune. So now, they say Neptune represents the subconscious mind and imprisonment. Therefore, Neptune placed here suggests that there will be too much confusion or a self-induced guilt. So you got to really see your 12th house. You're supposed to be clearing your self-conscious mind out, healing. So you just have to be careful. Drugs may be denoted, drug abuse. Neptune's placement by sign and house can indicate the root of the negativity. And so then I want to go to Pisces as well, because Neptune rules Pisces. So once again, this denotes, like a lot of times when they say the end of, I don't like to say the end of, but I do say the intensity or impactfulness of a subconscious or exile cycle. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of times people are around each other and they can kind of feel it. but they don't know how to tell the other person, you know. But sometimes you already got that feeling, so you already kind of know. So they say individual may be released from either a physical prison or a subconscious guilt-ridden self-induced prison. But you would have to ask yourself, why would this person be feeling guilty or stuff like that? And sometimes if you go through something, it makes you feel a certain way. But just because you feel a certain way, like I said, somebody might be verbally abusing you or physically or worse, and they'll try to make you feel like you the problem, like it's your fault I'm doing this to you. Well, no, it's not. It's not your fault they're doing it to them. People are crazy. That's why I said once I got here, I realized what this planet was really about, and since I was little, I knew that I wasn't taking responsibility for nothing I did not do, and I'm quick to tell somebody, "Oh no, I'm not carrying your shit. Like your crazy ass, I'm not carrying." So that's one reason why I'm still around, still alive, still looking good. Oh, still happy, still crazy. You understand? Because I know for a fact I'm not carrying nothing that I did. Now, if I did it and I got to carry it, I'm going to be a man. I'll carry it. But I don't carry nothing. Because on this planet, all you got is a bunch of people telling you wrong about it. You did it. And it's always going to be somebody else's fault. Or somebody blaming somebody else. So you got to know what you did and what you didn't do. Because that's why I said that's how you go crazy. One of the reasons why my friend became bitter, because when we were younger, now, just like I'm still doing, I've always been doing this type of work. I came here to serve. That's just facts. Like me, I'm 100% transparent. So, came here to serve and stuff like that. And he was a friend of mine. Was actually a really good friend. Coming straight out of high school. So, first I found this religion I was into. And then I was trying to get him to join the religion. Because we were still very young. And so he joined. But once he joined the religion, he came up with this theology that, you know what, I used to be really nice and considerate and all that, but that was a sham. Because I guess I don't know where he got this data from, but I think he felt like the people in religion weren't doing it, so why should he? So he said, for now on, I'm not doing that no more. I'm just gonna do what I do. Nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect, and blah blah blah. So that became his excuse, and he became the most shady, this deceptive type person. So he still wanted the position that they were going to give me. I was about to have a position of some oversight in the congregation. So he began to lie on me and discredit me and stuff to get me not considered for the position so he could get it. So his plan worked. And in retrospect, I'm glad he did it because that religion wasn't nothing but a cult anyway. And there's a bunch of bullshit. Because that's one thing about me, I've always been 100. I hate any form of deception and bullshit. I ain't with it. So I wouldn't have made it anyway. I'm not a political person at all. So he did get the position, and he kept that one because first you got to be what's called, I'm just going to say the term servant. Then they'll let you be a servant for about a year or two, and then they'll boot you up to an elder. So he made it to an elder, but guess what? Within a week of him becoming an elder, they demoted him. And that's when he became bitter. But they demoted him because they knew he was a lion, whatever. So you can't fool God. You might fool humans, but you can't fool God. So he was bitter from like then, and I guess that was still like the 1980s or so, all the way till, and then they would like every time he would try to date a female, her household would get a call from the elders. Like one of those elders would call and tell her, don't date him. That's why I say people always like to blame me. Like I can carry my weight. If I did something, I carry it like a man. I just hate when I get accused of shit I didn't do. That's why I don't call my house telling me so and so's dead. I haven't seen so and so in 30-something years. What are you talking about? But if I try to defend myself, they'll go, oh no, you always got a problem. No, I don't always have a problem. I just tell y'all that y'all are crazy. Like when I'm a little kid, y'all asking me for money. Y'all are grown adults. Get out of here. You know, I gave it to him the first time, but come on, I'm a little kid. How does a little kid got money? Y'all all grown adults asking me for money. Get out of here. So point in case in point is God don't like ugly. And so again, if you did the investigation, you would see that whereas my reputation is somewhat squeaky clean, his reputation was shady. And then because it's horrible when you find a female you think y'all about to get married or whatever, or y'all on date, and then their household gets a call from the elders saying, nah, not him, and then she drops you. So that's why he was bitter. Then last time I seen him, he was on Facebook studying Islam. And then so he blacked out his, you couldn't see his Facebook no more. He did whatever you do to make it go private only for certain people. So he was always a sneaky dude. Now, don't get me wrong, still was a friend of mine, loved that guy deeper than a brother back in the 1980s. And I hope he's okay now. Because I definitely had a long talk with God about him. But other than that, let it go. So again, yours is 29 degrees Scorpio, but it's in the 12th house, and the 12th house is ruled by Neptune and Pisces. So there is a possibility of 29 degrees Pisces. So it's the end of some type of because the 12th house is reckoning. So it's almost like the person you're seeing here is somebody you just got unfinished business with from past lives. And just like in one of my recent reads on this channel, Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, I showed you how two people would meet at their workplace because it was a karmic relationship. So I'm not going to go over all that again, but you can see it right in the 10th house. They both were there. That was a soulmate union. It was still very karmic, and they met there. And in your case, yours has a lot to do with those buildings, whether it's a church or some other building. So they say this could be a misfortune, dissatisfaction, but it also says a new life cycle is on a horizon as old cycles dissolve. But they do warn you about suicide or murder. So again, now where would that take place? Well, I gave you a whole lot of possibility. But see, again, don't be with nobody if you don't really know them, ladies. I tell y'all, and every day I see another one dying. Right here in Freehold, New Jersey, they finally found a woman who she was already breaking up with the guy, and for some reason he convinced her to see him one more time, and that was it. So he was a suspect. He was kind of getting away with it, but the cops are not stupid. So they did a check on him and found out he was watching like porno stuff or like illegal stuff on his computer. So they arrested him for that. And then once they arrested him for that, he never confessed to murdering her, but he came home and he killed himself. And this piece of trash didn't even leave a note. He could have said, yeah, I did it, but I'm dead, so you can't do nothing to me. He could have said that. So they had to wait. And we were hoping they would find her body, and they did. So you're seeing this in your 12th house. Because what people do, they think it can't happen to them. And that's why it keeps happening. Like I told you. You turn yourself into an object, so he can't respect you as a human. This is what really happens. You guys get mad at me for telling you the truth. But you turn yourself into an object, so he can't respect you as a human. You're now an object. Anytime a man is sleeping with you and having sex with you, and he can look you in your eyes and tell you, all I want from you is sex. And I get this a lot. So obviously, nobody wants to hear that. But that's what these women are hearing. So that's why I said maybe objectifying yourself isn't the answer. And anybody laying down with you should be somebody who appreciates the fact, not just taking it for granted. See, what I'm trying to tell you is when people don't have that respect, that's where you get the murders and the rapes and stuff like that. Because I've had people make me mad. Most of the time, I just try to walk out. I don't even get it that you get so mad at somebody that you would just kill them. But you guys, I don't know how often you guys read the newspaper, because this stuff happens all the freaking time. That's why I'm so upset about it. And it's been going on for thousands of years, and will continue to go on. And that's why I say people think they're free. You're not free if somebody can take your life. And when you really understand the planet you're on, you know you have to be cautious. So you're saying this in your 29th house. And remember, it's right next to Pallas. And I told you, Pallas is the soulmate asteroid. So that's anybody you could be in a relationship with. So again, stay away from any of that stuff. Secrecy, any drugs, going somewhere alone with somebody, all kind of crazy stuff. I had a cousin. Same thing happened to her. She used to live here, but whenever you're living in somebody else's house, it's usually not going to work out too good. So there were a lot of issues here. Not with me, but with, I say, others in the house. So the first thing she wanted to do was get out. And she has two brothers, my cousins. They all lived here. And then her brother got murdered when he was 16. So then she got out. She said she was going to New York. Now I was young, so it was really nothing I could do. When she left, I was young. But as soon as she said New York, I knew she would be murdered. Now I remember this was a long time ago. But I said she's not gonna. I said she's not gonna make it in New York. I said because first all the crazy stuff that happened in the city, and then she's crazy herself, and she won't make it because she's gonna say something and something will happen to her. So I already knew, but I was a little kid. I couldn't make nothing. So then my third cousin and their family has had a lot of murdered people. Like, well, and then it's an aunt that got murdered, and then their parents died in a car crash. At a light or something. So the brother that was still alive, he's still alive now. He saw a lot of death and violence in his family. So he's never got counseling or nothing. So he should have got counseling. So he did have one female, was probably his twin flame, because they were real close. They were always together. They were so close, very close. And it was funny, like right before she died, I just happened to call her to talk to her, and I talked to her on the phone like that, and then she was dead like the very next day and shit. And then he just went downhill after that. So he just kept on drinking. He was drinking himself to death and everything. So now he used to have his own house and everything. Now he don't. Now he's got to live somewhere else where people take care of him. And I said, well, why are you telling people this? Because I'm hoping people are listening, so that you don't make these same situations. See, what you don't understand is this: when you really get a grip, that's when your life will get better. But when you just dive into everything, and just a trial and error, that's when you don't. And in your case, if I saw your chart, if any part of my chart told me suicide or murder, I'm like, oh, hello, get the magnifying glass, because I'm not trying to die early. That's why I said this fool talking about I'm gonna be bitter. You was bitter. I'm laughing. I'm not laughing that he's dead, but I'm laughing because you talked all that trash. Now look. So I get that a lot where everybody knows everything, but then when it comes time to ante up, they can't do it. So your natal chart is there to protect you, believe it or not. And I get it. Believe me, nobody wants to be alone. I get it. But I'm just different. I'm weighing this up against that. Like, if somebody can give me a little bit of sex, but they're gonna drive me crazy, then I don't need it. I'm happy. I'm smiling. Like, I don't need the drama. So I'm trying to figure this stuff out. But like I said, you hear how I talk, everything is business. Like, something popped off right now. It's like, how can I solve this? And because you're business minded, it gets solved. But when you're on some other frequency or on some other like bubblegum stuff, it don't. So that's the advice for the 12th house. This could be very now remember, if you're in control of it, none of that stuff will happen. It's only when you're not in control. And you can't be mad at somebody when you are letting them take advantage of you because you're letting it happen. Like when that guy called her, she knew they was broken up. Like this is what I be trying to tell the ladies. This is what I mean about freedom. There's no. I'm a grown ass man. There's nowhere I'm going anywhere dark at night around some woods or some crazy stuff or somebody that I know ain't playing with a full deck. So you gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta see the life you're really in, and you gotta understand it. Every day, a large amount of women are murdered. Usually by, not always, but usually by a boyfriend or some family member or something like that. Now you've been hearing about females setting up other females, and they supposed to be friends and all that, and they setting a girlfriend up or something, and she get murdered and stuff like that. If y'all know who Sherry Shriner is, that's why Sherry Shriner is dead. Because I've known Sherry Shriner for years. I've donated to her ministry. I've talked to Sherry Shriner through emails. But yeah, for some reason, out of everything that really made her investigate that case of that female that was killed in Chicago, in the hotel, in the motel or whatever. Did I say it right? Yeah, in a hotel. Sherry would not let that investigation go, and that's what got her killed. So here's a girl is portrayed by her girlfriend, raped and killed and thrown into a freezer. She's dead. And then Sherry Shriner won't let the investigation go because she sees that the people that are supposed to investigate ain't doing nothing. So Sherry Shriner, who was a good investigator, she starts investigating, and then she ends up dead. So these things are not said to make you feel a certain way or make you feel oppressed. These things are to try to protect you. And again, if somebody's really interested in you, they won't mind you slowing it down. But once a person understands that he's not going to be able to exploit you, he won't try that. He'll come a little bit more correct. But when you just trust in this idiot, or you're just giving him sex, he's not going to respect you. And I tell anybody, and I just think people are lacking common sense because you just got to be careful. Because like I said, once you whip that sex out, that sex do crazy stuff to people. Highly addictive. And remember, Scorpio and Pluto, if I can't have you, nobody can. Obsession, all that stuff. So you whip the sex out, and then you tell a guy, wow, now I want to break up, or I need time away. I need time away. Not in the 8th house or the 12th house, baby. You better be extremely careful. And that's what I'm saying is be careful. Because I'm going to tell you again, I wouldn't see that person at all. Not after that. You already know. Like the warning signs are usually already there. Just people don't leave. Because they don't think it can happen to them. Even though they see this stuff happening all the time. Because I'd be shook. If I was a female, I'd be shook. Because it's always in there. Like every time I go to Yahoo News or look, it's always some female that's come to her end. And it's always like the same reason. Some crazy old boyfriend or some crazy shit. And the woman I'm talking about, her own family, she had went out that night with her family. And they ain't even know where she was at. That's why I said, I would never listen. Why do y'all go places and don't tell nobody where you're at? So nobody's going to know where to look. Nothing. So It's a misconception y'all have of freedom. Ain't nothing free. You're not free. Nothing's free. If you're anywhere where your life can be taken, then that means you're not free. And again, we can thank God that her body was found so that her family can have some rest, some type of peace. And we can also thank God that the idiot killed himself. So that is in your 12th house. It's not just me trying to bum you out. That's in your 12th house. Right here. 29 degrees Pisces. Exactly what I said. And that is your 12th house is ruled by Neptune and Pisces. Rules your. But I mean, you got a very unique thing. And it can still work. You just got to slow it down. That's why I'm giving you all this advice. Me personally, I would slow it down. If somebody really likes you, if it's natural, it's going to be natural. If somebody really likes you, just slow it down. And make sure people ain't crazy and all that. And then you got to learn how obsession, because in your 12th house, that love and that obsession is going to be there. You might be obsessive, so it's just you got to look at, you got to be ready to deal with that, because that's how stuff blow up. That's how, like I said, Chris Brown and Rihanna, that's how they were in the beginning, highly obsessive, but then there was all that goofy stuff, play fighting with each other and stuff like that. But see, that's a no, because if you start play fighting, then when arguments get real, it's still going to be fighting. And he said it. I think the best video on YouTube is Chris Brown telling somebody what really happened, because he was so honest. Like, I had never seen Chris Brown and he was real humble, but he actually told you what really happened between him and Rihanna. I don't know if y'all saw that video. To me, that's the best video on YouTube, because he just sat there. He just told, like, it was like talking to a friend. He was humble. He wasn't acting like no star. He wasn't acting like no celebrity. He was just sitting there telling you what really happened. But he was real humble. Like, he was at peace with it. But it did. It started off, like I'm saying, obsession with each other. Everybody, they couldn't be separated. And then they would play fighting all the time. And then something happened where she was accusing him of something. And it went crazy. And that's how it happened. But what y'all don't understand is, even a fight like that, somebody could get murdered. Because you could punch her head could go up against the thing, crack, like you see on television. Then she's dead. Now you're trying to get her out the car and all that crazy shit. And I mean, when I say get out the car, I'm not talking about for help. So this is real, and a lot of people just don't like it. And what they do is they run away. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like what he's talking about, and they run away. But it's still what happens. I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all knew the amount of people I know that are dead because they just didn't want to listen, they kept on living in a fantasy world somewhere. All they have to do is slow it down. Don't objectify yourself. Therefore, can't nobody treat you like an object if you don't objectify yourself. And just like when people say, oh, maybe I need to find a different kind of, maybe not, but nobody's perfect no matter where you go. Women ain't perfect, men ain't perfect. So always looking for Mr. Prince or Mr. Princess. Nobody's really going to be perfect. That's why in some churches they have rules. Unmarried man can't be in the same room by himself with an unmarried woman, or whatever, because they already know how things pop off. So certain things you learn in life is the point I'm making. All right, that is your 12th house. And that's what I mean, the whole secret thing in the 12th house. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That is obsession. That is killing somebody in an obsessive way. And then the secret is trying to hide the body or trying to act like you didn't do it. That's what he said about suicide and murder. Anything in that 12th house is pretty much going to be secretive. It could be religious as well, but you just got to be very careful. Now, back into your first house. Sagittarius rules the 9th house. And this could be the higher self as well. But everything in the 9th house pretty much is just higher courts. But it could also be in-laws. It also could be like foreigners or foreign speaking, because you got Mercury right there. But I think we went over this before. But it could be foreign speaking, possibly relative to some foreign speaking. But Mercury retrograde usually means that you're not going to be understood. But I already said that when you talk. So I already told. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I already told you. But even it's still something that's legal in your first house. So we need to go to your ninth house because Sagittarius rules the ninth house. And you got Leo there. But and see the 25, so it's legal again. And then you got the 9, which I said is Virgo, because you for some reason you just have a strong Virgo presence. That's the Hermit card, and that's about a person who goes out in public, but they go by their own enlightenment. Bold and courageous, legal. And then you see that number 8 again. You actually see 9 degrees. The number 8 again, 25 degrees, and the number, not sure what that number is. Might be 52, I don't know. And then good fortune is still like Jupiter. So again, and even your Jupiter is 14 degrees, which is Sagittarius energy. So Sagittarius is temperance, the temperance card, but it means internal changing. And usually it does take two people. Because if you notice, she still got it. She looks like the star card. One land on foot, one land in the water, masculine, feminine, and then the transformation is going inside. So this person is changing you. So remember, and Sagittarius also deals with belief systems. But again, it's going to be very aggressive because you actually have Mars in the first house. And Mars rules the first house. So this is still going to be quite aggressive. Then you got Keras, which is nurturing. Like a mother, the mother nurturing. And then you have the sun at 23 degrees. And that's your sun sign, Sagittarius. So we're going to look up the degrees of 23 degrees Sagittarius. Just give me a minute because, like I said, it's browser. Ever since they upgraded, like when they update and you get an update and it comes back and it's something wrong. It's kind of funny. They for some reason it's blocking the Well, I normally put the search question in, it's blocking it, which I've never really seen that before. Like, how the hell are you gonna block me out? It's crazy. All right, so let me try again. Alright. Now maybe it'll work this time. Who knows? It looks like it will. Alright, so what do I want? What degrees? And like I said, nobody's telling people to be scared, but you should use more common sense and stuff like that. Because it's really sad. But I think people just think it can't happen to them. They always think it can't happen to them. It can happen to anybody. Male, female, it can happen to anybody. You gotta get that through your head. I check everything. I go outside my own house, like especially nighttime, I check it. But even broad daylight. I almost got robbed in front of my house. And it was broad daylight. I just went outside to throw out some thing, and some dude came in a van. So he see me. He see me go back in the house. So he stopped. He stopped the van and parked it on the side of the house. So he didn't see. I was like looking at him through the window. I like, what this dude doing stopping? But I knew just why he stopped. I knew something was wrong because he don't live around there. Why you stopping in front of my house? And he just kept walking back and forth. He was smoking a cigarette because he wanted me to come back out there. He's gonna try to rob me. And then that same day, like in the paper, the very next day, it was a guy like in our township robbing people, home invasions and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that was that guy. And that's right. That's in broad daylight out in front of my house. It can happen to anybody. That's why I said anybody thinking it can't happen to you, you a sucker. Like that to me, that's what a sucker is. Not the person ducking and looking and all that because they still alive. You know what I'm saying? They wised up. The sucker is the person just so stupid you keep letting stuff happen to any type of thing. You have to be careful. This is a crazy planet, crazy world. That's just facts. Doesn't mean it's all bad, but you still better be careful. All right, we're looking at what 23 degrees. Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is also the healer, but it's just about being higher, your higher self, and (29 degrees) Sagittarius, a group of immigrants as they fulfill the requirements of entrance into the new country. A bluebird perched on the gate of a cottage. It's funny because I always see the bluebird as meaning healing. And I know Sagittarius is a healer. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, but they may even be saying that the person that we're talking about here might be a foreign speaking person. But either way, when Mercury retrograde, can't really understand. So we know that you can't really Mercury retrograde means you can't really understand the person a lot, and also can be a any type of technology or your car or something might also be giving you problems, or that person's technological stuff may be giving them problems. But it's very legal, very legal. And even when you look at your ninth house, you know it has something to do with Virgo. It is legal. And just like and you don't have full healing because your Chiron is retrograde. And we may be able to find out more as we continue. Wow, is that? Yeah, that is your East Point. So that is all your first house. So they say you need 4 more planets in a house to make it a stellium. So you have basically 3, because they count the sun. So you have 4. You have 3 planets, but it could still be like a stellium. But like you have to be aware of that because Mars and Aries might make you more aggressive, maybe, but you're not going to be understood because of Mercury retrograde. So you actually have to learn how to slow down and really talk or make sure you're understood or whatever. And like I said, it could be frustrating because and that's why some people give in. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be trying to tell somebody, like somebody might really be listening to me, but they might go, I try to tell him, and he doesn't understand it, so they just get frustrated and do it anyway. But to me, I'm just a survivor. I'm just a survivor. Like if I see certain things, it doesn't matter what somebody else is talking about. You understand? Because I'm gonna be the one that's be dead. Just like I got health problems, so I got to know when to say no. Cause people keep trying to push you anyway, and you got to understand if you keep letting other people push you, them people still gonna be alive tomorrow. You might not be. You might be dead or stroked out or whatever. So you just can't keep saying yeah. You gotta know when to say no, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's why I say y'all just witnessed it. Stuff popped up. God got me out of it. I put my trust in God. I've been doing that for decades. I'll go. I'll roll on God as far as who you going to trust in. I roll on God before any human. Because even most well-meaning ones, they're going to fail you because they're not perfect. And I don't understand time. People just don't know. But that's not really. Again, like I said, if a female is letting a guy continually have sex with her and he's telling her, I'm never going to take you out to dinner. I'm never going to. This ain't nothing but sex with me. And she's still letting them do it. Then you kind of brought that on yourself. So a lot of things that happen in life, people bring on themselves. Like I said, anything you want to know about is available, especially nowadays with the YouTube and technology. But people choose not to know, don't care, or nothing like that until they find themselves in a jam. To the moment they find themselves in a jam, the whole world is supposed to stop and help them. And sometimes you can't do that. That's like waiting till you're in a foxhole, bullets flying over your head, and now you want to be religious. Now you want to cry out to God, but you wasn't crying out to Him before. So the next house is okay, the money house ruled by Taurus, but you got Capricorn there. So this is the person that will probably have some type of career involving finances. And remember, Capricorn generally implies like a more career-like situation, whereas say the sixth house wouldn't necessarily be like a career. It could be like a daily routine or daily activity or daily duties or whatever. So now at 9 degrees again, Virgo. So you definitely got a connection with a Virgo, one way or another. And we already seen it. That was the first thing I noticed. Both of y'all got Vesta and Jupiter and Virgo. See my point? See, this is when it starts to get good. See, they get mad at me when I be talking. Oh, just tell me the connection. I gotta tell you everything. But like I said, if I did that, if I was like the rest of these people on YouTube, just milking you for your money, but they don't care. That's what I say. They could be lining you up with Mr. Kill, Mr. Death. Oh, y'all both have it similar. Yeah, go for it. Cause they don't care. They just want the money. I'm gonna try to save you and shit. At least I'm gonna let you know so you can make better decisions. Cause that's the difference between me and the client I'm talking about. Is that if I was a female, would nobody be running up at me for free? You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no prostitution, but you ain't gonna play me out and then tell me that all of this is sex and all that when you go home to your girlfriend and stuff. That shit ain't happening over here. I got way more self-esteem than that. So so 9 degrees is the Virgo, and I believe that is coming out of your. Is it? Let's make sure. Yeah, that's your second house from Capricorn. Now again, you have a unique second house because Capricorn wants to set down the rules. and that's a karmic house as well. But your second house, Capricorn, is going to want to set down rules, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it's going to want to set down rules. Neptune is kind of like a deceiver, but it is idealistic. So Neptune will kind of act like it's going along with the rules, especially since it's 15 degrees, because 15 degrees is Capricorn. It's a double card. And that's also about obsession to the material, obsession to the physical. But Uranus is going to cause upsets. And so your second house is your true north node, where you're supposed to be. So you and this Virgo might have some type of business together. Because as you see, Virgo's in your 10th house ruled by Capricorn. So you can't get away from the Virgo in that way. And it's definitely karmic. It's definitely a karmic connection. So that 12 degrees, remember Pisces energy is 12, Neptune energy is 12, but you got it right there. So what I'm getting from your so money will be coming your way kind of like supernaturally, mystically. But I already told you a lot of times Jupiter be blessing twin flames and stuff. Cause I'm telling you for a fact, I'll tell you this. When all kind of shit was going on with my twin flame and stuff, and then the job I had back then was a call center, and I had that job 13 years before that, and it was always a problem with them because they can't supply hours. Because in that type of call center, it's a research call center, so it's not telemarketing. We ain't making no money. We just calling. They may make money off of us, but we don't make no money off no commissions. It's not telesales. It's not telemarketing. We call people and take surveys and stuff like that. So a lot of times they don't have enough work for us. When I don't work there no more. They don't have enough work for us, and or they just jobs get shut down. The jobs get shut down early, so you don't have no work and you don't make no money. So it was that way in 2001, and then it became that way. It wasn't as bad, but then in 2014 and 2016 it became that way again. And you driving to get there, and it's not really close to your house, and you drive to get there, and they don't even call you and tell you that don't come in. You ain't get paid. Some days you will come to get your check. You couldn't even find your check and stuff. They don't know where your check is at. So I was saying that because when I was going through my twin flame situation between 2014 and 2015 or 2016, then that's when how I've had a relationship with Planet Venus since 2004. That's just facts. Now, when all this was going on 2014, 2015, anybody could study astrology, and this is how you know I'm not lying. But Venus was being blocked by planet Mars and planet Saturn, so you could barely see Venus. She's always being blocked by both of them. They was double teaming her, and so I was all in confusion because I was going through twin flames and I couldn't get to Venus. I was in confusion. So I was in my kitchen one morning about 2 o'clock in the morning, and something told me to step outside and look up, and I had my answer. And when I stepped outside, I looked up and I saw that big white thing in the sky. I was like, is that Venus? Because I know Venus can appear white, but I didn't think it was Venus. So I ran back inside, came up here, got on the computer to find out what that was, and it was Jupiter. From the moment Jupiter introduced me, I started having money. Now, one morning I got this. I had to go to a ATM machine because I got this thing that needed to be cashed or whatever I was trying to do. So I went to my bank's ATM, and Jupiter was right there in the sky. It's almost like he was just watching me. Jupiter was right there in the sky, and I was at my ATM machine, and the thing ain't work. So I was mad, and then something was like, go across the street. So I went across the street, which is probably like whatever, a bank that starts with W, whoever that is, I forget. So I went across the street and put my card up with that card, and then the money came out and shit. I was real happy. So, so, so I'm just trying to tell you this so you know this is real. So you see it on your card, like with this guy, you will have a type of Jupiter blessing. And like I said, again, some things are not necessarily bad. I'm just giving you warnings, and I'm trying to teach you how to think like a survivor, not like an object, and not like somebody's gonna put themselves in a situation where you're not around. Because again, it said it right there: murder, suicide, 12th house, 12th house, and both Pluto and Scorpio are known for murder and all that, and so is the 12th house, because Pluto and Scorpio is the 8th house, and we'll get to your 8th house in a little bit. So a lot of times, if you're on top of it, you'll get it, because that's why I said that's where she messed up the relationship. And keep in mind, I've been working with this client for a while, so it's not like she didn't know, but she can get hard headed. She just wants something so bad, and she thinks by doing that she's gonna solidify it. But by doing that, you're pushing the guy away. You see it as, oh, I love you so I'm gonna show you how much I love you. He see it like, damn, I'm banging this hoe out. She ain't nothing but a hoe. She gave it up to me so fast, she probably give it up to everybody the same way. She a hoe. Then he ain't spending no money on her or nothing. He just pull up, get what he want to pull out. He gone. And she talking about take me out. He like, nah. Why? I already told you what it's about. And like I said, he thinks she's stupid. He thinks she's gonna do it. So she could have straightened that out in the beginning. And y'all heard me. I've been saying the same shit all these years out here. Like, people don't want to listen until they get in that situation. Then they want the whole world to stop, and you're supposed to feel sorry. And I'm not gonna feel sorry for you if you did something stupid. I'm gonna tell you that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Cause you ain't never gonna learn when I'm not gonna hold your hand on it. That's why I said both my sisters got hard because of me. Cause they was on that silly shit too. And they had to learn. Real life don't function like that. If y'all knew, like I said, a lot of y'all don't really read news and stuff. If you knew throughout the world how women are just going to early graves and ain't nobody trying to do nothing to stop it. But if you don't read no news and nothing like that, you don't know. So you got to be smart. You can't be no dummy. How many of y'all saw that video where a guy came into this place and a woman was in a room and she had like on a phone or something? She was like on her phone or something. And this guy came into her room, came in that office, and she thought it was a customer. But he still shouldn't have been walking in like that. But he just walked in and she just looked at him because she thought he was a customer. And she was on her phone or something. So then he tried to rob the place. And she started fighting. And she was trying to use karate on him and shit. It was funny. But she was tough. Like, everything he kept throwing her down, she kept getting back up and shit. So she wasn't having it. Like, what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not telling you to fight because you could get killed. You got to do what you got to do. But people respect you when they know you ain't with the bullshit. But you want some silly stuff, of course you're going to get taken advantage of. And that's why I keep telling you, you got to remember, this is your 12th house fantasy world. You be thinking it's love, and he thinking something totally different. But it damn sure ain't no love. So you got to be careful when you slow these things down. Especially you see Mars, and Mars in the first house, that's Aries. This is really impatience. You got to learn to slow it down. Don't objectify yourself, slow it down. Find out what's going on. Best thing you can do to get a man's respect, like I said, slow it down a little bit. When you're talking to him, make eye contact and shit. You got to make him feel like you ain't just, whatever. Because that's just I'm going to say it's a misconception that a lot of men have about women and stuff. And that's why you see it. When you watch TV, them court TV shows, oh man, I don't think that's my baby Yana because she's sleeping around. You hear that shit all the time. So that's the misconception that's out there. So that would be my main concern. Let this person know from day one, you're not gonna objectify me, and also that I'm not just I'm not no bimbo. Because if you do that from the beginning, You ain't got to worry about it. Then y'all will start to move. Like, y'all will start to grow. But if you throw, like I said, my twin did the same thing. And I knew that was coming. As soon as she met that guy, she jumping in bed with him, jumping in bed, dropping these babies, dropping his babies, dropping his babies. I already knew it was going to happen. I knew that in 2014. He's not going to stay with her, and then she's going to be trying to make some type of union with me. And all that went down, just like I said. So, those are just facts. So, again, it does look like you be working with this person in some type of career position or whatever that career might be. But it will be lucrative. And that number 12 in Neptune is still, it's kind of like referring you back to your 12th house. So it may be of some type of spiritual or religious nature, possibly. So when we go to your 12th house, might as well do that. It's all about service. Again, Sagittarius energy, which is again Sagittarius, but it's all connected with the home because Virgo represents the home. That would be some type of home or a service business or a health business. And you got 15 again. Even your Jupiter is 15. So they're definitely showing, because remember, 15 is a Capricorn card or the devil card. But Capricorn rules the 10th house of career, which is a karmic relationship. But Jupiter is definitely trying to bless you there. And Investa, which is all about service and loyalty, is 20 degrees, which is Pluto energy again, which could still mean about resurrection, could mean endings. But then it's number 10, which again is Jupiter energy or finances. And Vesta can be a priestess. You just have to be careful with Vesta, because Vesta in the 10th house, a lot of times she shows up because Saturn and Capricorn rule the 10th house, and Saturn can be kind of a bully, kind of abusive, and Vesta don't like that. So a lot of times when you have Vesta in the 10th house, that's one of the reasons why. But because your Vesta is in Virgo, remember, Vesta is like the priestess, and Virgo's like the over priest. Like you got the head priest and you got like the under priest, and that would be Vesta. So all the implications are there for this is some type of spiritual or religious business pursuit, but it could be lucrative. That's why I say you're actually protecting yourself by not turning on the sexy. Yeah, I mean, this is time and place for everybody, everything. But I won't be turning that shit on until I know the person better, and I know the person is not crazy, and I know that if me and that person did become connected sexually, that they're not gonna play me out like an object, like they doing me a favor. Like the dude tell you you should be taking me out. That's when you know the dude crazy. But unfortunately, when you just give it up like that, of course he's gonna think that, because he think you giving up so quick because he's that good. You got this fool thinking crazy. All right, so we're getting through. We're getting through. So like I said, ironically, the advice I gave you for the 12th house will definitely work really good for you in the second house. Because one thing about this situation with this person, and I'm just going to say Virgo, but he could be anything, but he probably has a significant Virgo. But the chart's right here to the right, and we've already proven that pretty much him. But this could be beneficial and lucrative if done correctly. And some people say, well, what if it's not? Well, you see all that Pluto in Scorpio, that's death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. But with death and rebirth, a lot of times you're probably going to have to forgive. Because that's like if somebody plays you outside, sideways, and then y'all broke up or separated, then somebody got to apologize somewhere. Like sometimes you say let bygones be bygones, but sometimes you need to still talk about it. Because otherwise it's going to keep coming back. All right, and I take it back. Yeah, no, it is. It's in the same house. Okay, okay, now I see why. Because Saturn is almost the same as Uranus. So now Lilith starts off your third house at 0 degrees, which is Uranus energy, or the Fool card. But now in Aquarius and the third house, this could be groups or publishing. But remember, Lilith and your Lilith is retrograde. So again, that's a person that's kind of holding things in. And Aquarius. So that goes back to what we said about secrets and stuff like that. And Aquarius represents the non-traditional, like I told you. So it could be possibly two. It could be possibly two interpretations. By saying non-traditional, it could be same-sex. Could be, not saying that it is, but it could be. But it's not going to be a traditional situation. Now your Saturn again is karma, third house Gemini, number four is Aries energy again. So if you look at your third house and your first house, you're still dealing with Mercury energy, Gemini energy, and Aries energy. Because Aries is number four. And then you got that number six, which usually is a lover's card. And what's ironic about that six is this, because the lover's card is Gemini energy. But it tends to be pretty much about doubt. So that's going on in the third house. But then ironically, you got Juno there. So just like your true north node has got that 9 or Virgo thing going on. So does your true north node, but so does your Juno. So once again, it's showing you that Virgo presence. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. In cases like that, the secret may involve sexuality. And I think I told you that a while ago. and you just got to be careful because your 12th house and your 8th house is definitely about diseases and stuff. So you just got to be careful. So your Juno should be in a serious relationship. Again, even that's karmic. So you can't get past like this is a karmic connection that's past life, has some type of past life connection to it. And then your moon card, your moon is in looks like the 4th house of the family house, and we're about to increase the size so I can make sure what the numerology is. 5 degrees. And that second I'm not going to make out. It's either 40 or 10. Yeah, I can't make it out. Alright. Alright. Yeah, so really, interestingly, your 4th house that should be about family and teenage adult education, land, property. You have the Pisces there, but it's like nothing else. Nothing is telling the story. So that helps you understand your 12th house a little bit better. So again, that's why you would be looking for love somewhere, but they're implying that it might be some type of secretive love that wouldn't really be beneficial, depending. And then Neptune is in your 2nd house, because Neptune rules Pisces, but it's still in the 2nd house of finances. And nothing there in the Neptune is showing it's just not any activity there. And when you file like Neptune or something like that, it's just saying like business. Either that was done now or in the past. And like I said, when you get into your 5th house, where your moon is at 5 degrees. So 5 degrees could be number 5 Leo energy, but 5 could also be the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So like I said, Aries in the 5th house could be too much fun, because the 5th house is gonna be young and children and stuff like that. So I would keep an eye on a connection between the mother, represented by the moon, and any children in the 5th house. Sixth house, another earth sign, but we've already shown you that you're going to be making money. Because remember, Taurus represents finances. But we already shown you that you will be making money from some form of service that probably will be affiliated with the home. Seventh house with Gemini. To understand that, you would have to go back to your 3rd house. Because Gemini usually represents either like small stuff, small children, or duration is not going to be that long. And ironically, when we go back to your 3rd house, we see what we were saying about the non-traditional situation. We go to your 8th house. Once again, see the family right there. So this is why I'm saying it could be a situation with inheritances, wills. It's always going to be other people's possessions, other people's money, or shared resources. But it looks like it's going to be a form of battle, a form of fighting for it. And 21 says that it's definitely karmic, because that cross means they call it the vertex cross. And this is where you might have a significant meeting in your life or so. And like I said, that could be a soulmate. And again, so you would try 23 degrees Gemini just to see what they say. Let me go back over to yours. 21 degrees. See, and again, it's still going to be karmic, because 21 degrees represents Saturn. So it's still a karmic. So that's why I said these are people you've had history with and past lives and things of that nature. So now you're looking at 21 degrees Cancer. (21 degrees Cancer). The meeting of a liberty, no, the meeting of a literary society. A woman and two men cast away on a small island of the South Seas. Well, you do remember that Gemini represents, well, what did I say? Did I say 21 degrees Cancer? Let's make sure. 21, let's go up, just to make sure. Alright, 21 degrees Cancer. A famous singer is proving her virtuosity during an opera performance. A young woman awaiting a sailboat. So once again, you see the family there. There's a vertex cross. Significant things will happen. It's still karmic at 21 degrees. So this is being born into a family where there's a lot of karma, karmic debt. These things happen because there's still soul connections, soul mates, mates in your soul family. That's all soulmate really means. It could mean something more, but doesn't have to. So it's telling you it's karmic. The vertex cross means this could be a soulmate, twin flame, significant event, significant coming together, significant breakup. And there may definitely be some type of family disputes. Because really both your 8th house and your 12th house are about family. And remember, Cancer represents teenage to adult education, land, property, real estate, family and ancestors, vehicles and travel, the Imam Kweli. And that's mother in the subconscious mind. So like I said, it'll be a supernatural connection even with the mother as well. And I think the reason why your mom is with that Aries, because she's trying to stop that aggressive Aries in your first house. Because again, a lot of times when there's any type of family dysfunction and stuff like that, then somebody will be aggressive because they haven't dealt with the pain yet. And then we already showed you your pretty much your ninth house. Ninth, like I said, is Leo. Leo rules the 5th house. You got Aries there. So that's aggression. Both from Leo and Aries, they're just ready to go, and they're not afraid. And that might be a lesson in this life to slow it down a little bit, slow it down and think a little bit more. Because you got a lot of fire signs everywhere you go. You got a lot of Aries, a lot of Mars. So 10th house, career. We already explained that. 11th house again, Libra. But see, 11th house is when you kind of doing business with people and stuff. Because 11th house is friends, association, and groups and things. And once again, it is ruled by Aquarius. And you got Libra there again. Now, will you have a Libra connection to an Aquarius situation energy? Yeah, because you're Juno. I believe your Juno was also in Aquarius. So we already told you what type of relationship this could be. And that's why I tell people make sure so that there's no misunderstandings. So you definitely have some type of connection to Aquarius energy as well as Virgo energy. So you might want to keep that in mind. And that does conclude your side of the chart. Going right into his ascendant. His ascendant takes him right into your 12th house. His AC is even 12. Remember, the AC is the ascendant or a person's rising sign. The time that the sun was going over your ecliptic or over your horizon when the person was born. Now, the EP or each point, the time or when the sun was going over the ecliptic when they were born. So, once again, 22, letting you know right away. Some type of twin flame stuff, each point. So we'll do 27 degrees Scorpio. 27 degrees Scorpio. A military band marches noisily through the street. The king of the fairies approaching his domain. That's kind of funny that we use that terminology. So let's look at that again. All right. And if you look at his 12th house, Libra's right there. So he's got some type of Libra relationship business and needs to come to a reckoning. And then oh, and he's got the sun too. So this watery. Like I'm gonna tell you straight up, like anytime you see the moon, and the moon rules Cancer. Anytime you see the moon and Cancer connected to Scorpio, or any water sign connected to Scorpio, be careful, because these people can easily be connected with them spirits and stuff. And I'm sure you can look that up. You can look it up on Astro Codex, astrocodex.com. Because that's what I be telling people. You just have to be aware of this. Not saying it's the case, but I'm showing you why people end up dead. And that's why I said it's not a joke. Not just me out here just want to be talking. It's a lot of other stuff I could be doing. But the bottom line is it's happening too much. And obviously people ain't listening. Why ain't they listening? Because it can't happen to them. Or it can happen to somebody else, but it won't happen to me. Because I'm not saying this is the case, but if you got a guy that already got this stuff going on, because you don't know what's going on inside of his head, and you see, let me just try to explain it to you. You see Libra in his 12th house, so he's thinking about relationship, right? But his mind is Scorpio, and that's real obsessive. If I can't have you, nobody can, or you trying to control a person and all that crazy shit. And then his whole first house is really like the 12th house, your 12th house, with 12 degrees. That's the Neptune, the isolation, because the Neptune card is a person that isolates himself. 22 is Sun Flame, but then Pluto is retrograde, which means something significant is going to be taken away. Now, that's what Pluto does. It impacts you and takes something significant away. But based on everything we already know, we have to be careful. And because the moon is there, you have to be careful. Because what gets taken away could be that mama. And it's hard to make out whether his moon card is 26 or 28. We'll leave that one alone. Alright, so again, we had to duly note that going on inside of his head. He might have instabilities regarding relationships. Then second is money. A Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius in the second house, which is the money house. I mean, he may have money almost like investing, or he may have money long distance. He may have money overseas. Going over to his third house, which is the communication house. But there go business and his true north node. But Capricorn is there. And if that was Gemini in Capricorn, it would be like somebody who doesn't really have any long-term jobs. He has a lot of shortcuts, a lot of part-timers. He might go from job to job. But that's if Gemini was in Capricorn. If Gemini is in the 10th house. But now this is Capricorn in the third house. So a lot going on in his third house. Gemini, but his business. But unfortunately, it's not looking too good for long term. Now that doesn't mean it's bad yet. But now if you notice his his third house, I just want to make sure. His third house look a little bit like your second house with Neptune, Uranus, True North Node, and Capricorn. So that's his True North Node. That's why he's here. To have some type of business set up, Capricorn, and a publishing house. Because that's what the third house is, the communication, publishing, radio. Palace at 3 degrees. Again, this is a third house. Palace is at 3 degrees. So you can already see, well, it's really, Palace can be a creator. It is. And Palace can work with young ones and minorities. So you see Palace creating in this third house, but this is really the business. True North Node of 5 degrees. It looks like 18 minutes. So the moon is still there. Then once again, Neptune gives the bright ideas to Capricorn. And then Uranus helps with the spontaneity coming out of nowhere. And once again, 17 degrees is Aquarius energy. It's a star card. And that's where he's getting help with his decision making or whatever he's trying to do. And then Keras is the female asteroid about nurturing. And you see he's got 44 twice. So his healing is really in his third house. So you can try 27 degrees Capricorn and see what happens. 27 degrees Capricorn. All right. Once again, 27 degrees Capricorn. Pilgrims climbing the steep steps leading to a mountain shrine. A large aviary. All right. Now, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So Aquarius in the fourth house. Remember, Aquarius is about friends, association groups, and things like that. So Aquarius in the fourth house is basically somebody that's saying, "Oh, calling people family, and wherever they're going, you say, oh, this is my home, or this family, and all that." So this person's house will kind of reminisce that I'm never home, and I'm this group or with that group or whatever. So this house of family, and then you got a Lilith now, especially if she's retrograde. You have to be very careful because she's dealing with family, but she's also dealing with other people. And in cases like that, Lilith likes taboo because that's what's going to be going on in the fourth house with Lilith retrograde and Aquarius. Because Aquarius is already considered the eyeball of the zodiac. And then the reason why Lilith retrograde is 12 because again, what I said, 12th house pretty much is the hangman. He's not gonna tell you shit. He's gonna keep doing something like Lilith retrograde does. But it's also the 12th house because that's where she wants to hide her situation. And again, Saturn wants you to keep the status quo. And then you at 26 degrees and 10. Usually when you see Mars in 26, that's what I'm saying. See, this person will fight for the majorities, but he'll also fight for like LGBT stuff like that. But I've been saying that since the other chart, so you definitely see that there. All right, so when you get to one, two, three, four, fifth house. Now, fifth house, um, this person, wow, he got everything there. Look at this. See, that's why I said, it's an interesting placement. I'm just gonna say that because I was getting ready to say something. I said, nah, because if I didn't say what I said earlier, I would have said it now. I would have said this, but they just go together. That's all I'm trying to tell you, and I'll try to explain it. So anytime you have Venus in Pisces, this is what they call I'm gonna tell you what I call it. It's like head over heels love, where really the person can't do no wrong. Cause remember Neptune is a deceiver. Venus is influenced by Neptune, so that's where a person can do no wrong in your eyes and that. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. But it's in the fun. It's in the fun. See, it's not a serious relationship. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And this is why stalking occurs sometimes. Because see, this is the person that could dive in bed and the sex going to be off the hook. Because they're going to give you this passionate, deep love and all this stuff. But it's in the fifth house of play. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm really with you and I'm yours, you're mine. It's none of that. But it'll make you feel that way. And that's how shit pop off. Because you thinking, like when a song come out, is that your girl? Well, she wasn't last night. Now, if you hear some crazy shit like that, you like, last night she was doing all this to me. Last night, no, 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 no. So in your mind, in your heart, and in your sexual, you thinking this is your shit. This is my shit. Man, she get me in that bed, she tear it up. This is my shit. I know this is mine. And then somebody, that's your girl? Yeah, that's my girl. She wasn't last night. What you talking about? And you find out that's just her fifth house. And that could have been anybody, just about. And now it's time to kill somebody. So you see it. Because it could have a spiritual connotation, but anytime you see like Venus, because you always got a spiritual connotation too. Because remember, Venus rules the 12th house. It could have a spiritual connotation, but remember, the 12th house is also about deception. So you could really believe it. You could trick yourself into believing, oh, this is the one, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so real. On his chart, you could definitely see it. And then good fortune is there, but again, you keep seeing that number. You keep seeing that number 16. So that's talking about the passion that's coming out. And then Juno's at 25 degrees. So like I said, 25 degrees definitely mean law, but I'm still telling you it's just karmic. Because notice how your good fortune is 25 degrees and his good fortune is 16, but right next to it is Juno, 25 degrees. And remember, this is all in Leo, the fifth house. Why? Because this is karmic. And when you're dealing with Leo and it's karmic, it's because of problems with the ego in a prior life. Problems with the egos. So now in this life, they're taking you through a different route. So I don't know if this is going to tell us anything, but I'm just going to do 25 degrees Pisces. A fertile garden under the full moon reveals a variety of full-grown vegetables. Light breaking into many colors as it passes through a prism. A majestic rock formation resembling a face is idolized by a boy who takes it as his ideal of greatness. As he grows up, begins to look like it. Well, again, it's when you look at something and you make it more than it is. That's Pisces and Venus. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're in a home. I'm gonna do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever you got a home and Venus or a home, excuse me, whenever you got a home in Aries or home in Mars, this could be some type of soldier, or like Homeland Security, some type of officer, some type of soldier, possibly. Sun sign Aries, so we got to be just careful of that aggression. Two degrees could be the couples. And once again, Mercury at Mercury looks like 8 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be the home, Aries, 8 degrees, and ready. So the sad thing about a 6th house, well, again, is Virgo energy, which is interesting because we've been talking about Virgo energy. Is he's going to be hard to understand as well, and there's probably going to be too much aggression, and that's home, daily activities, small children. And you always got to be careful when you see like Aries or Mars around where children are. So that's the 6th house, and again, that's Virgo energy. Seventh house is Taurus. Taurus can represent money, can represent the 2nd house. This is the 7th house, but 8th house, well, Gemini is there. So, but remember, Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. All right. So 23 degrees Gemini. All right. Three fledgling in a nest, high in a tree. It's funny because Gemini could be associated with the number 3. Children skating over frozen river pond. Frozen village pond. All right. So, yeah, if you look at his third house, you can understand his eighth house because he's turned communication into a business. And when like Gemini is like either young children, but yet Gemini could just be inexperienced or adults that don't know any better. All right, so we know that's his business, and then we already seen see because that cross means significant meetings, soulmates, a twin soul. So you see that here as well. Then the ninth house is family, so it's definitely usually family in the ninth house is either long distance family or foreigners or stuff like that, and it could be a higher education or whatever, something education related. Could even be like two, whatever. All right, all right. Career is a 10th house, Leo there, so this would be some type of leader. Notice that they both got Chiron, but they both got healed. They both got wounded, and it's both Leo. So both of them got some type of healing that did not heal because of Leo. Now with the Virgo, once again we already did Virgo though. Again, that's service, but that's like the 11th house, friends, association, groups, service. 15 degrees takes you right back to Capricorn, wherever Capricorn business. And Leo in the fifth house could have something to do with children, fun. It could have something to do with the fifth house because Leo rules the fifth house. Or it could just mean this person is just like a leader or whatever. And then now with his Jupiter retrograde, that usually deals with a belief system. All right. So it looks like his Vesta's retrograde. Yeah, it is. So that's usually because it's dealing with the home. So that's usually something that didn't go down. as correct as it should have went down in the home. And that could be his present life or his past life. 12th house is really, like I said, some type of partnership. Could be spiritual. All the stuff I was saying about the 12th house in the chart over there. But it's either relationship or business. But again, it's going to be karmic. It may have a lot of baggage that needs to be dealt with before they could ever have like a decent relationship. So now we're going to go around the chart again. We're going to look now especially for twin flames. Alright, so we see his Scorpio or his 12th house, Pluto. So in his 12th house, Scorpio, Venus, Pluto. Alright. Alright. Then when you go to the see, even like this, his sun is in her sun is in the first house, which is ruled by Aries. His sun is Aries. And both of them got Mercury. Mercury retrograde. Alright, so now we continue. So once you get to the Capricorn, you definitely see the connection. Both of them got the true north node, looks like in Capricorn. They both got Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. So we're gonna continue. Now, just so I stay on track, let's go back. We're gonna start with Venus and Pluto in Scorpio or 12th house. So he has Pluto in Scorpio, but it's a Pluto retrograde, 22 degrees for his first house. But his 12th house is going to be relationships. Going over to Sagittarius, because I'm using a chart on the left, comparing it to the chart on the right. His Sagittarius is nothing in it. Um, but again, let's follow that sun. Sun first house in Aries, so it's gonna be Sun, Aries, and Mars, and then he's got a Sun in Aries and the fifth, right? Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So there goes that Virgo again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Virgo. Sun. And like I said, the Sun and Eagle can be dealing with the ego. Anything with Leo, fifth house, or Sun is ego, like past life stuff sometimes. And see, the service is also like for the karmic reason. So it's kind of like doing what happens in the 12th house, because both the 6th house and the 12th house are about service, but the 12th house is more known for karmic connections and stuff, as far as karmic debts. But you can do it in the 6th house as well. So then you have the whole Neptune, Uranus, North Node. And if you notice, that's the first time when they really look like each other. But again, like I said, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So it's karmic. It's a karmic connection. And that's why I said it's a crazy. Like where I worked at, that's why I'm in my twin flame, 2014 to 2016. And we worked in a call center. And that's the whole karmic dead thing. And the boss's name was Damien. And I knew him 13 years ago. Like I said, I worked there in 2001. And when I worked there, he was just a manager. In 2001, I came back. He literally ran the freaking place. He ran the freaking building. And he looks a lot like my boss now. Because I remember when I first got interviewed, I looked at the guy that became my boss now. He's still my boss, and I said, "Man, you look like my other boss." I remember telling him that. So all this stuff is twin flame, soulmate, karmic, a lot of synchronicities. So there's definitely for the most part, you can tell it's a karmic connection. It could be more than that though. It could be more than that. So we'll keep going. So as soon as it says Capricorn, you want to jump right to the 10th house. And her 10th house to the left, again, Virgo, Vesta, and Jupiter. You go to his 11th house, it looks like same thing. So even though they're off by one house, they are mimicking each other. But so far, the main thing has been like service, you know, because the sixth house is also work or daily activities, daily duties, and then the 10th house is also like work or career, but it's still work. So far, it just looks extremely karmic. Now, that doesn't mean they can't catch feelings and stuff like that. And then both of them got the whole Lilith and Aquarius going on with Saturn. But ironically, now she's got the Juno, but his Juno is not in Aquarius. But that's interesting. But definitely a whole lot of repeats, a lot of similarities. That's what I mean by repeats on both charts, and a lot of Lilith. But that's why I'm saying this is the reason why they would be attracted. So her Juno, that little asterisk at 9 degrees, 921, even that's karmic. 21 degrees is karmic. And 9 degrees, I said, like, it's Virgo energy. So she would find herself in a serious relationship with either an Aquarius or a Gemini and possibly something else. Aquarius, Gemini, and as you see, his Gemini has a vertex cross, which, like I said, that could be soulmates or twin flames or significant coming together or breakups. All right, so you keep going. So her sun and her moon are dealing with Aries energy, and that's probably that's real deep. His moon is dealing with first house or Aries energy, and then his sun is in Aries energy. So you keep seeing that, like, it definitely, these are, the connections are definitely implying twin flames. But if you notice, it hasn't been not yet anyway. But we just keep going. It hasn't been any type of Venus or Juno or Vertex Cross connection yet. So far the main connection has been karmic assignment, being together in karmic assignment. But like I said, it can still get emotional anyway. It can still be emotional. It could still be a, you know, connection. So we did the whole Mars and the Aries. Keep going. Now her Gemini seventh house. So his Gemini being the eighth house, it looks like. And his Gemini being a vertex. Both Leos have Chiron retrograde, failure to heal. Already said that the ego, like I said, whenever you see fire signs or whatever, like if you see Leo, you know to take a look at Aries and stuff like that. And his Leo is medium Coeli, which is a lot like the true north node. So we gotta find his true north node is back in still in Capricorn. That's why I say it's ego. And they definitely got the Virgo thing going on too. And his 11th house is Virgo, but it's ruled by Aquarius. And her 11th house is Libra, but it's still ruled by Aquarius. Because we know they got to do, we definitely, both of them got a unique Aquarius connection, which is still karmic because you see Saturn. And even her Aquarius in the third house, because third house can be your siblings as well. That had to be family, it could be your siblings. But in his case, his fourth house would be family, but it's still Aquarius energy. And in his 12th house, you have Libra. But it's not necessarily connected to her other than her 12th house is Venus, and Venus rules Libra and Taurus. And then where he got all that love or whatever going on, it's in the 5th house, which looks like the focus would be there, the drive would be there, but is not necessarily gonna be serious. And also because the 5th house, like I said, it's not necessarily serious. Even Juno there. And even 25, like I said, 25 is a law still implying karmic. Because what you got to remember, if you notice, it just keeps missing. It makes a lot of implications, but it's really missing. And that's why I told you about that. Your 12th house is secret lover. Now, if we do it a different way, when we go to his first house, Scorpio, Pluto, yours is Scorpio, Pluto. Also, he's got that moon. So now you got the moon and Aries, because that's the first house. Or the moon and Scorpio. So yours is moon and Aries. Then we already did the Capricorn. But see, that's the third house. So that's why on his you can see like his third house, and then you see Gemini with the vertex. 1, 2, 3, and so your third eye, your third house. Yeah. Not really. So your second house again mimics his third house. But I'm more when I look at his chart, I'm more interested in the Gemini. Because the third house rules Gemini. It's a karmic relationship. Then when you count his house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then in the eighth house is Gemini again. But it's got the vertex. And your Gemini is in the seventh, which could be relationship. Good as fourth house, which is like family, but this is family that's people you just call family. They may not be bloodline family, but you see them. Especially, like I said, especially if you're traveling and stuff like that. It just depends. But it's all Aquarius energy. And yours does fit as far as Aquarius energy. And you have a Juno. And your Juno could represent Aquarius. Because then when you go to your 11th house, you see Libra. His is 12th. Aquarius. Gemini rules the third house. See, your Gemini is in the 7th house. So now, when I look in his 5th house, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This dude will find himself in a serious relationship with either a Leo, Pisces, or because of Venus, Taurus, or Libra. I said Leo, Pisces. And when you go to your 5th house ruled by Leo, you do see that moon there. So y'all are connected, but it's just off. As far as romance. Because his Pisces would take you to your 12th house. And your 12th house. Yeah, that's interesting. See, his Pisces, his 5th house, Pisces would take you to your 12th house because Pisces rules his 12th house. Then you see Venus, like he's got that Venus. But then all your stuff is going on in Scorpio, and then you look at his Scorpio, that reminisces yours. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what karmic assignments do, though. Karmic because it can transform you. Because like he said, anything with the 12th house could be secret. And there's going to be some type of secret lover in that mix, like I keep saying. It's like when you got this one for this reason, but then you got that one for that reason. Or the other one, this one's sensitive, but they don't do this, or vice versa. That's what I'm saying, because it's off. It's not really complementing each other. It's like off. And your Juno, okay, your Juno, like I said, is in Aquarius. So then goes to his sixth house, Virgo. Now the Virgos look alike. But I said Virgo is working off that karmic assignment. Even with his Mercury, it's going to take you to the third house. Definitely karmic. We already said that. Capricorn's right there, karmic. And then you got the Aries, Sun, and Moon. All that's interesting, but like I said, it's not no real connection, not love. It's definitely connection when it comes to karmic. But ain't no connection with love. And you can still feel it. Don't get me wrong, you still meet the person, feel love, but it's not that twin flame. It's definitely not that twin flame. And even with this situation, it's something still secret. Even with this relationship, it's a secret. It's gonna be another person or whatever, it's another situation. So again, going up to, I think that's his eighth house. And so you gotta remember, anything with Scorpio can also be karmic, because the eighth house does deal with karma. So eighth house Gemini, vertex cross. Her Gemini in the seventh. He doesn't have a Gemini or a third house connection to Libra. Get to the ninth house, family, Cancer, no real connection with that. We definitely saw a connection with Leo. Chiron retrograde will keep saying the ego. And it's notices his Leo is in the 10th house, once again making it karmic. So now we did both charts, both sides. Like I said, there's no real Juno connection. No real. It's everything's like off. The only real solid connections are all karmic, like Capricorn, True North Node. That's all karmic. There's no real love, whatever. So me personally, I would be most interested in his fifth house. Who's getting all that love? Because I tell you how it's gonna go down. If it's you, you gotta remember Pisces is connected to Neptune, the deceiver. And that means a person might even really believe it. Or they could definitely make you believe it. But then it's somebody else. So the one he's probably gonna be twinning with is either gonna be a Leo energy, Pisces energy, or anything with Venus, which is Taurus or Libra. Because you go to the seventh house. See, if you go to the seventh house, they go Taurus right there. So that's you find yourself in a the seventh house is ruled by Libra and represents a serious relationship. Taurus. His Leo medium Coeli, because you can find a twin flame in either medium Coeli. Medium Coeli is very similar to the true north node. Go to his ascendant. Go to his Pisces. Yeah, his 12th house. Once again, Libra. So I'm saying it's another chart that would match that. What I just told you, it's a chart that would match that. Now, whether that's going to be his secret lover or not, but we know we started off talking about the secret lover and the 12th house, and it's still secret lover. So whatever this is, it will be a secret lover connection. So if you get caught up in it, definitely it's going to be a secret lover. Also, based on the warnings I gave earlier, you got to be mindful of that too. Because anything with Scorpio and all that stuff, whatever I said. And that's why, in the case of my other client, it's one of them things when you really like somebody. Well, she's a Libra, that's why she's so obsessed with a relationship. But it's really hurtful when you're trying to get this guy everything and trying to win this guy over, and he's telling you all it'll ever be is sex. And believe me, he wouldn't say that if he just knows she's gullible. He wouldn't believe me. He would never be that honest if he didn't just see. He doesn't view her as even worth lying to. Because some people say, well, at least he told me the truth. No, he just doesn't see you as. I bet he wouldn't say that to his girlfriend. I bet he wouldn't tell his girlfriend he's screwing you. But he'll tell you, oh, all you'll ever be is sex. Because he don't respect you. He doesn't view you as a person, and he sees you as an object. But he wouldn't say that's his girl because he wants her in his life. He wants his girl. He wants a family with his girl and stuff like that. So sometimes I might have to be brutally honest, but hopefully you'll smack some people into reality, and you may protect that person from getting raped or beat up or something like that or killed. Because nobody's gonna respect you if you don't respect yourself. And and I'm gonna tell y'all again, my family was very problematic. My father, who I had unfinished business with, he's been dead for over 40 years. My mother, who's definitely a drama queen, but I'm a main source of her still being alive. But I always been, because I was a little kid pulling my father off of her when I was little. So I've been protecting that woman for a long time. I'm not saying I don't benefit, because I do benefit. Now, my youngest sister, same thing. She was another person I had to teach reality. So she's been married going into the 17th year this year. Now my older sister was a rebel, but she ain't been here and she hasn't been around for a nice amount of time now. Well over 8 years, I say around 8 years. So that's almost 10 years. So like my friend the great C Mac, he was very, very hard headed. He's dead. Then the guy that just died, Mr. E, that's the guy who used to be righteous like me, right next to me, but he felt it was more advantageous to be like everybody else. Because I was there to watch the change from the almost as fast as he walked into the doors of the Kingdom Hall. From then on, he wanted to be like those people, and that was out of his mouth. Gary, I was hanging out with you, and really that personality I was is not really realistic. I want to be more like these people. I don't have to put on a front and be like you. I can be like these people. But really, they're the ones putting on the front, not me. I'm the same guy and been here a long time. So to be here this long and still be here and then let this world compromise my morals of how I feel, because I don't give a fuck what everybody thinks about. Because all I watch is people cheat on each other, failed marriages, and on and on and on and on. So you can't really tell me because I don't have those problems. And you can be mad at me, but you can't tell me I'm different. So sometimes it takes a little maturity, a little honesty with yourself, honesty with God, and an honesty with the person you're going to be with. And it does exist because, again, what you put in is what you're going to get out of. I started this off with somebody that thought by sexing, that would get her what she looked for, and all it got her was disrespected, played out. And just to keep it 100, she's grown a lot with me, but before me, her chart was very wild anyway. That's when I looked at her chart, I was like, yo, and she's like, yeah, I was. She said I used to be like that, and that's like a second client. So it's not revealing anything because you don't know who I'm talking about. But the point being made is I'm trying to help people to realize, like, all I can tell this person is be careful of being alone with somebody you really don't know. Be careful of objectifying yourself to win approval or get attention. Because you gotta understand, all that stuff is vanity. The word itself means it ain't gonna be nothing. It's vain. That's what the word vain means. You're so vain, you probably think the song is about you. So vain. Nothing's coming out of that. So if you do get past the cycle, the obsession, the dangers, because remember it was whoever warned you about, I think that was Astro Codex. Whoever warned you about suicide or murder in the 12th house. If you get past all that, this is still, just prepare yourself for it, because it will be a third party somewhere in this mix, and it's going to be a secret. And this is why I'm watching his 5th house, because it's interesting. Love, good fortune, but you still got 16 degrees, which is a fire sign. That's Aries, and this is in the 5th house, another fire sign. Leo. So hopefully a person will remember what I just said, because you can't notice in advance, diving into it anyway, and then be shocked when some of the shit I've been telling you starts to happen. And that's what people do. I'm not saying everybody, but that's what most people would do. They'll be aware of it, dive in anyway, and then when reality starts to smack them around, now they're offended or hurt and blah blah blah. So if you're going, like I said, what happened to me tonight, well, I really didn't understand what was going on, but I did get a warning, and I shouldn't say tonight because it's a new day. It's after 12 a.m. But I did get a warning, but I thought that the miscalculation was on their part, so I wasn't worrying about it. But as soon as I got home, I checked it, and then that's when I saw, oh shit. So at least I was a little bit prepared for it. So that's the main thing. You try to prepare for it if you're going to dive in, so that when a shock comes, you won't be as, you know. But this is a karmic connection that they have this work that I named it. It's a karmic work. Just like when I worked in a call center, it was kind of like I was in hell with that female, my twin, and probably some other people in there, because I had all kind of weird stuff going on in that call center. So it was some type of karmic thing you're working off with these people. So like the guy I started with, I walked in the building with him first day. Our first, his name was Evan, and the night he kind of got fired, which was kind of sad, because he came to work sick. He shouldn't have came, because that's how he got fired. He should have just stayed home, because he still would have had a job. That's why I be trying to tell people sometimes you got to use common sense, because you push yourself to get to a job and you're sick, and then you do something you shouldn't have did and get fired, and that's what happened to him. He should have just stayed home. But it was funny. Me and him walked in the building together, and the night he got fired, we walked out together. And what was strange was I ran late that night, because any other time I was ahead of just about everybody else. And the only person who used to beat me out the door was my mentor from the 1980s, his wife. Her husband was my mentor when I first became a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness now, but I was in the 1980s. And her husband used to train me. And I was there when they got married and everything. But she's the only person who used to beat me out that door at the end of the night. So all this stuff is karmic. It's a reason for everything. No, people don't. People may not see it that way, but everything is a reason. And even that woman, I'm talking about that man's wife, because nobody thought he could stay married, because he was a very very difficult person. But this is how I want to end this video, because it makes so much sense to me. But the only reason why him and her were still married from the 1980s to 2014, 2015 was she didn't take his shit. Because he could be somewhat of a bully. And if he could intimidate you, he would. But she didn't take his shit from day one. And that's why their marriage lasted. Because she wasn't scared of him. She didn't take his shit. And their religion believed that once you put the rings on and said, I do, wedlock, to death do you part. So that was some reality. That was some character. But this situation right here definitely will be some secrets when we reveal. And don't feel shocked if any of those things I said happen. But hopefully you'll keep yourself safe and don't put yourself in a situation. See, me, like I said, as a female, I wouldn't be alone with no dude unless I really, really, really knew that dude. And it would take a long time before that happened. Other than that, it would be public shit. Public shit. And if I felt he was lying and shit like that, it wouldn't be no privacy, all that. There's no desire for sex in the world that could make me jeopardize my safety and shit like that. It's a crazy world. As of yet, I'm out.